Hey, so we all make mistakes, but owning up to them is the right thing to do. You know Degree Cool Rush deodorant? Well, last year they changed the formula and it did not go over well with their fans. Degree's whole thing is it turns up the sweat and odor protection when you turn up the effort. And good thing it does, because Cool Rush fans really turned up the effort to bring back the original formula. One guy even started an online petition. And Degree listened. They admitted they effed up. And they are bringing the original Cool Rush set back. And it's exactly how you remembered it. Cool, crisp, and fresh. It's back in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. There's a reason why it's been the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. It's the same reason why people were not happy when it changed. So if you never tried it, it might be a good time to see what the fuss is about. Head to your local Walmart or Target to try the OG Degree Cool Rush for yourself.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, good morning. Good morning. How we feeling on a Tuesday?
Good.
Hey, girl. We good.
Peace,
How you
Morgan.
doing, Envy? How you doing, Envy? Because, first on front page is the state of emergency that's going on in New Jersey. I know I saw your video of flooding is crazy up there.
Yeah, yesterday driving around, like I said, I had to pick up my car show merch and to shipping down to Virginia. And when I say waters were like 2-3 feet and people were stuck on the road, it happened so damn fast. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, so New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has declared a state of emergency across the state after heavy rains dumped several inches in many parts of the state. Now, the rain caused road closures, power outages, and damages around the state, especially in central New Jersey. Now, more than 7,400 customers lost power at the storm's peak. Flash flood warnings have been issued or were issued throughout the state. Flooding was reported in Hoboken, Summit, Rahway, and elsewhere. And of course, there was also a ground stop issued at Newark and JFK International and LaGuardia airports last night. New Jersey Transit says the rain was expected to affect train and light rail service as well. Now, 50 million people were under flood warnings yesterday in major cities such as New York City, here in D.C. and Baltimore as well, facing flash floods. So I just want to make sure that you guys are safe and you guys are paying attention and heeding to those warnings when they come up. You don't want to end up in a devastating situation. Elsewhere, President Trump says he will be placing 100% tariff on Russia if there's no peace deal in Ukraine soon. Now, he met with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte yesterday, and Trump also announced a new deal to sell top-of-the-line weaponry to NATO, including defensive Patriot missiles meant for distribution in Ukraine. Let's take a listen to the president's comments regarding that.
We're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Billions of dollars worth of military equipment is going to be purchased from the United States, going to NATO, etc. And that's going to be quickly distributed to the battlefield.
Yeah, Trump went on to say this wasn't his initial focus, this particular war, calling it a Biden war. And he had been blaming both sides for the continued war in Ukraine, but lately has been putting most of the blame on Putin, saying he's not happy with Putin, adding that he thought he had a deal in place about 4 times, but it appears that basically he said, 1 minute they think there's a deal in place, and the next minute there's bombs and whatever else in Kiev. So the president is looking to, get this particular situation settled and resolved between Ukraine and Russia. Elsewhere in presidential news, former President Obama is telling Democrats to toughen up given the political landscape under the current administration, President Trump. The former president's comments come after he attended a private fundraising event in New Jersey on Friday. Now, during his speech, Obama said, "Don't tell me you're a Democrat, but you're kind of disappointed right now, so you're not doing anything. No, now is the exact time that we need you to get up there, basically get in there and do something." So the event marked Obama's first fundraising appearance since Democrats lost the 2024 election. What do you guys make of the president's or the former president's comments, President Obama?
It's mind-boggling to me when I hear people like President Obama say things that regular, everyday people been saying for years. We've been saying Democrats were cowards for a decade. We've been saying Democrats need to toughen up. And that cowardice is, why we're in the position that we're in now. And I can give countless examples of Democrats needing to show a spine. Like, for example, they should have told Biden that he was going to be a one-term president. It wasn't up to him. So it's just wild to hear President Obama say that now as if Democrats haven't been cowards for the past decade.
Ooh, not the decade. Okay, well, talk your talk then. All right, so that's your opinion. You certainly entitled to it. What do you make of moving
That's not
forward
my
with
opinion.
it?
That's President Obama's opinion too.
I think that's everybody's opinion that we should have toughened up. And then when you ask questions, then it's like, oh, you're going against us. You're this, you're that, you're liars. It's been the same thing we've been saying for years.
The language has been the same for at least 8-9 years. Democrats are cowards. Democrats don't have no spine. We've been saying this.
Can I ask you one more question? What does toughen up look like in the landscape of politics? What do you think?
Toughen up looks like, hey, Biden, you're going to be a one-term president. Toughen up looks like, hey, RBG, you're going to step down because you're too old. Like, it's like that's what toughening up looks like. That should have been stuff like that should have been happening.
No, toughen up to me means handle and do your core like you said you were going to do. One thing you can say about Trump, whether you like him, love him, or hate him, he does what he wants to do for his core, for his people that ride for him.
Toughen up looks like, hey, if Donald Trump is the essential threat that y'all tell us he is, how come y'all aren't going after him that way while y'all are in office? That's what toughening up looks like.
Toughen up means match that energy. All right, y'all. So that's your front page news for 6 a.m. At 7 a.m., we'll talk about the autopen and a recent Supreme Court ruling that impacts education. So stick around at 7.
All right, everybody, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. 800-585-1051. Before we get it off your chest, I got 20 seconds. I just want to say one thing. If you're out there, right, a friend of mine yesterday, a couple days ago, found out he had cancer. The reason he found out he had cancer is because when Trump did the big whatever bill, he knew that they were going to take his health insurance away from him. So he was like, yo, I'm going to get every check ASAP before they take it away. And because of that happened, he was able to find cancer and they was able to remove the tumor. So I just want to tell you guys, if you're out there, get your doctor's appointments out there right now, your dentist. This is a sign to call your doctor and get your physicals done. You never know, because if you find out early, you can save your life. So I just want to tell everybody out there. All right, well, get it off your chest. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. All right, well, let's get back to some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, so former President Biden is defending his use of an autopen. Biden says he made every decision on his own in comments from an interview with the New York Times. Now, during his final weeks as president, Biden granted clemency and pardoned over 1,500 people. The Times reports Biden didn't individually approve each name of the categorical pardons, but that applied to a large number of people. It comes after President Trump directed Attorney General Pam Bondi in June to investigate the use of autopen by Biden to see if it was connected with a decline in his mental state. Now, President Trump was asked about Biden's use of the autopen, and here's what he had to say about Biden's use, and not only Biden's use, but what the autopen should be used for. Let's take a listen.
Look, the autopen, I think, is maybe one of the biggest scandals that we've had in 50 to 100 years. This is a tremendous scandal. You know what the autopen is supposed to do? Sign thousands of letters from young people that write. We get thousands of letters a week, Susie, right? Thousands. I mean, tens of thousands sometimes. I look at there's a room where we have many, many people working, responding and sending letters back. That's what an autopen's supposed to be. To write to a young 7-year-old boy that writes to the president, and he wants to be president someday, and he loves America. That's what the autopen's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be for signing major legislation and all of the things.
What do you guys think? The autopen should just be for signing letters to the hopeful young Americans that write to the president, or should there be stipulations on when the autopen should be used, as long as the president is is, to their point, in good mental standing?
You know what I think? I think that we should always remember that majority of America did not want a Trump-Biden election. in 2024. Okay, I just want to remind
Why are we
people
talking about autopens?
I just want to remind
does that make
y'all
sense?
that
You brought it back
Democrats. I want to remind y'all that Democrats
The last
ignored
hour.
what their voters wanted, and it cost them everything.
With floods and everything that's going on in the world. We're talking autopen?
I just want y'all to remember that at all times. All right, nobody wanted any of this.
I feel like I was an autopen.
Hearing you talk about Biden and then hearing Trump respond to whatever this conversation is about just wants me to remind y'all, okay, that 70% of respondents, including half of Democrats, said Biden shouldn't run again, and over 50% of people felt the same way about Trump. Like, what are we talking about, man?
Makes no sense.
We're here because nobody wanted this, okay? Okay?
All right, let's bring it back to current events then. The Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to resume layoffs at the Department of Education. U.S. Secretary of Education Linda McMahon said not being able to fire department personnel was a roadblock to the White House goal of returning education back to the states and out of the hands of the federal government. Now, the court ruled 6-3 to lift a judge's order that reinstated employees let go in mass layoffs. All three liberal judges dissented and said the ruling is indefensible. Now, McMahon said she's pleased by Monday's ruling, and the Supreme Court got it right. Let's take a listen to her comments.
Get education back to the states where the president believes it does belong. The best education is that closest to the student. This is a real victory, I think, for the future of American education. And this lifts the handcuffs off of what we've been trying to do, which really is to get education back to the states.
Now, the Trump administration does want to eliminate the Department of Education entirely. I'm not sure how she views this as a victory when that impacts her job too. But, I won't get too much into that.
Just want to repeat, 56% of adults said they would be dissatisfied if Trump were the GOP nominee. 56% of respondents believe Trump shouldn't have ran again. Just want to keep putting that out there, y'all.
Somebody says Charlamagne for president. Okay. All right. And on the topic of the Epstein files, Laura Loomer, a conservative activist and ally to President Trump, is calling for a special counsel to investigate the Epstein files. Now, the request follows last week's announcement of the Department of Justice and FBI regarding disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, which concluded that he did not have a client list and confirmed he died by suicide rather than foul play as suspected by some. Now, Loomer has previously bashed Attorney General Pam Bondi for her handling of the Epstein documents and told Politico a special counsel should be appointed so that people can feel like this issue is being investigated. Bondi has defended the Department of Justice handling of the evidence. Elsewhere, a Texas congressman is planning to introduce a resolution demanding files be released in the case involving convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Democrat Mark Vesey wrote on X, either President Trump and his acolytes fueled the rumors of significance of these Epstein files to help his campaign, or something is there. Now, Vesey's resolution comes after DOJ released that memo last week, also talking about that client list allegedly used to blackmail high-profile people, and there was no evidence of foul play in his death. Now, President Trump has stood by the DOJ memo and defended Attorney General Pam Bondi as well. This is, to your point, Charlamagne, yesterday, this is an interesting take, and that we will continue to see what happens as a result of what's going on with these Epstein files. I have heard in Washington that Trump is trying to just make it go away type of vibe on that one. Type stuff. But this doesn't seem to be going away as of yet. So
and Democrats should make sure it never goes away. Democrats should never ever stop talking about the Epstein files. It's the only thing that builds a bridge between Democrats and the MAGA base. MAGA hasn't cared about anything else. So if you want to connect with them, then you have to talk about what they care about, and this is what they care about. So you should never stop talking about it. Treat it the way MAGA treated the transgender women in sport, trans women in sport, men's sports. What is it? What was it? I can't even remember now.
I don't know.
Trans women
over here. I don't know.
And men's sports.
And men's sports issues. Yes.
Women's sports.
Yes, they should treat it like that.
And bringing things home to us in Baltimore, Jess, you guys remember Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby, her case, right? The mortgage fraud?
Absolutely.
Well, the mortgage fraud conviction case against former Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby has been overturned. An appellate court ruled yesterday that the prosecutor's venue instructions to the jury could have led to a different verdict. However, Mosby's perjury conviction is still being upheld. She was sentenced to home confinement, but that sentence ended last month. So,
great. Go Maryland. Go Maryland. Period.
Hey,
Justice.
Baltimore. All
Period.
right. But that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. You guys can follow me on socials at Morgan Media. That's MorgynMedia. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network, download the free iHeartRadio app, and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all so much.
All right.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.